What's up, Carnivore community? It's Joe with Chef Gone Carnivore. Just wanted to make a quick video. I'm grilling up some steak for dinner, and just thought it might be useful for some people to see how I grill my steak. Now, in the restaurant, we would use a grill or a cast iron pan and then finish either one of those in the oven once we've got the right sear on them. I don't have an oven outdoors. I don't want to turn my oven on. It's still warm in Arizona. It's still in the high 90s, so I don't want to heat my kitchen up with an oven. So I want to do it all in my grill. So I'm going to use the grill to sear it, and then I'm going to turn off one side of the grill and then use that side to finish the steaks in an indirect heat, like I would an oven in a restaurant. So that's what we're going to look at today is how I can accomplish that on my grill. All right, so I've got a couple of ribeyes here that have been seasoned and dried with paper towel, and I'm just gonna throw them on the grill and get them cooked through for dinner. So what I got here, I got a sheet tray with some foil lined on it with the raw steaks on it. When I pull those off, I'll get rid of the foil and I can put the cooked steaks on the clean sheet tray underneath. I've got a probe thermometer here to check when they're done. I've got a pair of barbecue tongs, and then I got my grill here. I've been preheating this grill. It is about 500 degrees, which is about where I want it to throw these steaks on. Mine is a 4-burner grill, and I've got all 4 of them on high. So it's good and hot. It's hot across the entire grill. And my grill is hot. The hot zone's right in here. If you don't have a temperature gauge on yours like mine does, to know whether you're hot enough to throw your steak on there, if you put your hand a few inches above it, if you can leave it there for more than a second, it's not hot enough. So it is hot enough. I'm going to toss these steaks on there. So we'll throw the first one on here. You can hear the sound of the hot grill. You want that sound. If you put it on and you don't hear that sizzle, go ahead and pull them off, because that just isn't hot enough. So I'm going to leave those on for a minute or two before I turn them. Now I want those cross hatches you get in a nice steakhouse when you eat, those classic cross hatch marks that you get on the grill. And yeah, with ribeye, since there's so much fat, you can have some issues with some flare-ups. If your flames get a little too high, you can just move the steak to a part of the grill where there aren't flare-ups. A little bit of flame like this isn't a big deal, but if it gets real big flames and they start getting up pretty high, you can get like a soot on your steak, like a gray soot, and that is not delicious. But if they're just maintaining kind of smaller flames like that, not a big deal. But anyways, I'm going to leave those on there and I'll turn them in a couple of minutes. All right, I'm going to move them and then also turn them 90 degrees to get the grill marks going the other way. So I pop that one like that where there isn't the flames. This one I'm going to pop right there, a little bit away from the flames. And now if I start to get some flare-ups on these flames, I can move them again, but I don't want to turn it again or else I'll mess up those cross hatches. But anyways, yep, I'll leave those on for a little bit longer. Okay, I've moved those around a little bit to just avoid too much of a flare-up. And they're pretty nicely browned on one side, so I'm going to give them another flip. And I'm going to keep these steaks when I flip them on this left side of the grill. I'm going to leave this right side of the grill without the steak on them, and I'm going to turn off the heat after I flip them. And I'll tell you why at that point. But first of all, I'm just going to give these a flip. I'm going to pop them back up to a little bit hotter part of the grill. So you can see those both have some pretty nice crosshatch marks. I certainly have better marks this way than that way, so I probably could have left them on a little longer the other way, but this will be good. They still have really good color on them, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off these two. And then I'm just going to move these because I got a little bit of a flare up. We'll let those flames die down there again, and then when they get to that point, I can move them back. But I'm just trying to avoid too much of that flare up. I just want to get a nice color on there without the gray like soot on the sides that you'll see. So anyways, I'm gonna leave them there for a little while until they got some nice marks this way, and then I'll flip them 90 degrees, get the other marks, and then I'm gonna finish them on this cold side of the grill, and I'll explain it when we get to that point. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip these. Actually, not flip them, I'm gonna turn them a quarter of a turn. I just want you to see they have pretty good marks on them now. So I'm gonna flip them going this way here to get the marks going the other direction. All right, and now this side, again, I've turned the heat off. And what I'm gonna do is once after this flips, since this is my last turn, I'll get some color here on the sides, and I'll show you that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop them over on this side to finish cooking through. Because the grill is so hot, I've got good color on the outside, but the inside of that steak is still gonna be raw. And I don't want raw steak, I want medium steak. The ribeyes, I like medium. Some people like medium rare, but either way, whatever temperature you're gonna cook it to, it's not there yet. It's been way too quick. So I've gotta finish them cooking over indirect heat so that they can cook through. And so I put them on the cool side of the grill, and then I'll close the lid, and it'll kind of be like an oven in there, where it'll be about 350 degrees or so in there, and I'm gonna have my thermometer inserted in the steak, and then once it gets to 130, which is where I like to pull my steaks for ribeye, then they'll be done. But right now I'm just trying to get some color on them. And if you look at that, that's got beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. I like that. That looks very good. Again, really nice color on that side too. So I like the way these look on the outside. Now we just gotta finish them on the inside. Okay, so now I got both of these steaks. They're chilling on this cool side of the grill. I'm gonna turn this one down to low. And now all the heat is coming from this side. And once I close this lid, it's gonna circulate the heat in there, and it's not gonna get the outside of this any darker because the heat's not directly under it. It's just the air that's hot. And so it'll continue to cook on the inside until it gets to the temperature I want. So I'm gonna probe these guys like that. And then when it's to temp, I'll know. So I'm just gonna close that. I'm gonna turn this down just a tad. And what I'm shooting for is about anywhere from like 325 to 400, somewhere around there. It doesn't really matter, it'll cook quicker. The lower you do it, the more evenly it'll cook on the inside, but it'll take longer. The higher the temperature, it won't cook as evenly on the inside, but it'll cook a lot quicker. So it's just up to you. I generally don't mind a little bit of gray on the inside when the center is cooked right. I just kind of want it fast because I'm busy. But yeah, so I've just closed the lid. I am going to let it sit until those steaks hit 130 is where I like ribeyes. Ribeyes have a lot of fat that I think needs to render out a little bit. So I think it actually has a better texture when it's more like medium than when it's more like medium rare. Whereas like a New York strip or a skirt steak or a sirloin or something like that, I generally like medium rare. Right now we are at 124 inside that steak. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till it's about 130 to 132, somewhere around there, and then we'll pull them. But yeah, this is how you use your grill as an indirect cooking method. So in the restaurant, we'd sear them on the grill and then we'd finish them in the oven. But since I don't have an oven outdoors, I'm just turning the grill into an oven basically. All right guys, I already pulled the first steak. It came to temperature quicker than the other one. The one I still got in there just hit 131 degrees. So I'm going to pull it. You can see the way I have mine set up with these two off, this one on low and this one just under high. It maintains a pretty even temperature of about 350 degrees, a little bit less than 350. You just kind of have to figure out how hot your grill will go with the lid closed and stuff. But I'm happy with the temperature on those, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. That, we're good. I'm gonna shut this guy and then we'll go let these rest for about 10 minutes and then I'll cut into them. Okay, we've got the steak rested here. It's rested for 10 minutes. You can see the color on that is really nice. We got a really good sear on the grill. And here I've made some bone marrow butter, which is what it sounds like. It's roasted bone marrow blended into some butter. I like that on my steak. Just gonna spread that a little bit like that. And I could post a video another time on how to make that. It's pretty simple, but it's a good, nice bone marrow butter. I'm gonna go ahead and slice into this bad boy, and we're gonna eat it for dinner. Nicely cooked. Very, 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 very tender. This is the fat here, but you can see the cook's really nice on that. All right, we're gonna grab a piece of that. Nice, a little bit between medium rare and medium, probably closer to medium rare actually on this side. More in the center here is more like the medium that I was looking for. So, yeah, ribeye. So good. And that bone marrow butter goes really well with the steak. But yeah, so that's how I cook steak on just a normal day. Real fast. Takes about 12 to 15 minutes on the grill and it's done. And these are about an inch thick on the steak, so it's not like they're thin steaks. So yeah,